Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking you on an exclusive behind-the-scenes factory tour. We're going to see exactly how your everyday medicines and cosmetics are manufactured safely and effectively, but on a massive industrial scale. It's one thing to mix a little potion in a small lab, but doing it flawlessly for millions of people around the world, that requires a completely different level of engineering. So let's just dive right into this. Think about the medicine cabinet in your bathroom right now. How exactly does a raw, unrefined chemical transform into that perfectly uniform, reliable pill sitting safely on your shelf? It's an incredible scientific journey, and honestly, understanding this process is the absolute core of industrial pharmacy. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. The blueprint of medicine. 2. Manufacturing tablets and capsules. 3. The strict, sterile environment. 4. Formulating everyday cosmetics. And 5. Packaging and protection. All right, let's get into Section 1, the blueprint of medicine, which is all about pre-formulation studies. But before a single chemical is mixed on a factory floor, we really have to talk about good manufacturing practices, or GMP. This is the ultimate rulebook. It ensures that whether a factory is pumping out 10 pills or 10 million, every single dose is rigorously controlled for absolute safety. GMP is basically the invisible force governing every single process we'll discuss today. It dictates the exact temperature of the room, the purity of the raw ingredients, and even the cleanliness of the air itself. Without GMP, mass-producing medicine would, frankly, just be too dangerous. So every drug follows a very strict, sequential life cycle arc. It starts with intense pre-formulation studies, and then, only once that blueprint is perfected does it move into active production, which is then followed by rigorous quality control and finally specialized packaging. It's a one-way street. You absolutely cannot skip a step and you can't reverse the order. The whole system is engineered for maximum safety and efficacy. Let's zoom in on that very first step, pre-formulation. Before mass production can even be a thought, scientists have to rigorously study the drug's properties. Take polymorphism, for example. That's really just a fancy way of saying how the drug's crystal structure takes on different shapes, which actually deeply affects how it dissolves in your system. They also determine its BCS classification, basically a grading system for how easily the drug dissolves and absorbs into your body. They even test drug excipient compatibility to make sure the active drug doesn't negatively react with the inactive filler ingredients. They look at particle size, because smaller particles absorb faster, and solubility, because, well, if a pill can't dissolve in your stomach, it certainly can't cure your headache. It is highly exact, absolutely vital science. Okay, moving on to Section 2, manufacturing tablets and capsules. These are our solid dosage forms. Creating a tablet isn't just about smashing powder together with brute force. It's way more delicate than that. It involves blending the active drug with precise excipients. Those are the supporting ingredients that literally hold the pill together or help it dissolve once you swallow it. And the manufacturing methods have to be flawless to avoid compression defects. For instance, there's something called capping, where the top of the pill literally breaks right off, or chipping along the edges, which totally ruins the dosage accuracy. Once formed, they go through evaluation tests and usually get a sugar or film coating. This protects the drug from degrading, masks any bitter taste, and controls exactly when and where the medicine is released inside your body. Now, when we're dealing with capsules instead of tablets, manufacturers face a totally different set of challenges. They have to carefully select between hard gelatin and soft gelatin formats. Think of your standard 2-piece powder-filled capsule versus a squishy, liquid-filled gel cap. Each one of these requires entirely different capsule-filling machinery on the factory floor, and equally distinct evaluation tests to spot unique defects, like, say, leaking liquid or an improper seal on the gelatin shell. Let's shift gears to Section 3, the strict, sterile environment, focusing on parenteral and ophthalmic preparations. For parenteral products, which is just the industry term for your various types of injections, the environment shifts dramatically. Because these medicines bypass your body's natural defense systems, like your skin and your digestive tract, and go straight into the bloodstream, they demand absolute sterile manufacturing. The factory floors utilize extreme aseptic techniques, specialized positive pressure airflow, and intense quality control. They have to ensure that not a single microscopic organism or stray dust particle makes its way into the final product. Similarly, the next time you use ophthalmic preparations, like eye drops or eye ointments, keep in mind that their formulation mandates the exact same rigorous sterility requirements. The human eye is incredibly sensitive and deeply vulnerable to infection. So the industrial formulation of these products requires flawless, absolutely sterile execution to protect your vision. Seriously, one tiny error in the factory here could lead to devastating consequences for the patient. All right, Section 4, Formulating Everyday Cosmetics. This is where we go beyond medicine. It actually surprises a lot of people to learn that industrial pharmacy extends far beyond life-saving drugs. The exact same formulation science, good manufacturing practices, and instability testing are applied to everyday cosmetics. Whether we're talking about skincare like creams and lotions, hair care like shampoos, or beauty products like lipsticks and face powders, they all rely on the precise chemistry and industrial production techniques taught in pharmacy formulation. Seriously, your morning moisturizer was engineered with the exact same rigor as a headache pill. Kind of crazy to think about, right? Finally, Section 5, Packaging and Protection. This is the final shield. So all of that brilliant chemistry we just talked about, it means absolutely nothing if the product degrades before it actually reaches you. The packaging is just as critical as the medicine itself. Industrial pharmacists have to carefully evaluate whether to use glass, plastic, or metal containers based on exactly how a specific drug interacts with those materials. They design highly specific container closure systems just to keep moisture, light, and air out. And then they conduct extensive packaging evaluation and implement highly accurate labeling. This whole system ensures the medicine remains stable, potent, and safe, all the way from the sterile factory floor straight into your hands.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. We place our lives and our trust in the medicines we take every single day. But without the obsessive, microscopic precision of industrial pharmacy, formulation, and protective packaging, that trust simply wouldn't exist. So the next time you effortlessly pop a pill from its little foil blister pack, ask yourself, are you just taking a chemical, or are you taking the result of a perfectly engineered industrial miracle? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.